What is capital? Well, there are many types of capital. Manufactured capital. This is the stuff we've made. In grazing systems, it is predominantly our fencing, yards, water infrastructure, machinery and buildings. Human and social capital. This is everything to do with people, including our knowledge and skills, communities and institutions. Financial capital. This is the capital we're most familiar with. It is the money that we have in our wallet and bank accounts. And finally, natural capital. This encompasses all the natural world, including our soils, air, water, and all living organisms, both plant and animal. Why is natural capital important? Natural capital underpins all the other forms of capital, especially in farming systems. For example, soils provide carbon capture and the necessary substrates for plant growth. Plants provide feed and shelter for livestock and native animals, as well as protection from things like flooding and soil erosion. Put simply, the condition of your natural capital underpins your long-term carrying capacity, production efficiency, profitability, and business viability. Why are we hearing more and more about natural capital? 2 words: nature, risk. Companies and investment firms are under increasing pressure from their shareholders to understand and disclose their exposure to nature risk. This includes risks such as environmental degradation, climate change, and biodiversity loss. This is because more than half the world's total gross domestic product is moderately or highly dependent on natural capital. So what does this mean for my grazing business? These waters are still murky, quite frankly, but there are a few things we can conclude with reasonable certainty. Firstly, measuring and understanding our impact on natural capital can significantly improve our bottom line if we use the information to inform management activities. Secondly, low-interest loans for on-farm improvements that benefit both livestock production and natural capital will continue to evolve. On the other hand, it will become increasingly difficult to obtain a loan if your natural capital is in constant decline. For example, if your ground cover is declining over time. Thirdly, international red meat market requirements are evolving to include environmental stewardship, for instance, in the EU and USA. And finally, the burden of addressing natural capital decline is not yours alone. There are increasingly more funds, certification schemes, and ag tech initiatives available to graziers like yourself to help you understand and improve your natural capital. In this newsletter, we hear from one such certification scheme by the not-for-profit organisation Accounting for Nature. I like these guys because they are constantly striving for a balance between science and practicality. They're also increasingly incorporating ag tech into their methodologies, and their framework is consistent with international standards like the United Nations Standard for Environmental Economic Accounting, otherwise known as SEEA, meaning it is well placed to help you demonstrate your environmental stewardship to international red meat markets. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy.